Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? It's Ryan Miller checking in with GST's YQMA, episode number 47. Today, we're going to talk about the flaws and downsides of calorie estimation formulas, and we're also going to talk about how to overcome those flaws and downsides so you can really choose the best calorie level for your personal goal and your personal needs as an individual. Today's topic was brought about by an email that I got early this morning. 6:04 a.m. an email pops up from a competition client of mine. She's currently transitioning into her off season, fresh off a bikini competition, and her name is Allie D. And I'm just going to go ahead and read a portion of her email because I think that's the best way to get her question across. So I read about lifestyle multipliers and finding your maintenance calories. I calculated mine for my current weight, and it looks like I'm eating a little above maintenance right now. I'm not complaining as I'm not gaining weight, but I just wanted to know how this was possible, and I thought you would be the right person to ask. I know a lot of factors play into it, and my training has changed. She recently signed on to my GST training programming as well, so her training has recently changed, but I'm just curious and would like to get a better understanding because I think it's always important to be in the know. Thanks, Allie. Now, the crux here is that she is claiming that the formula that she used to estimate her maintenance calories on her own time predicts that her maintenance calories are below where she's eating right now, where I have her in her transition from her competition prep to her off-season bulking phase. And she's wondering why, if she's eating over her maintenance level based on that formula, why is she not gaining weight? Because as of now, we've increased her calories a couple times, I believe, and so far she's not gained any weight. So she is assimilating those calories really well, and she continues to see these adjustments upward, but she isn't to the point right now where she's actually gaining weight. So she's a little confused. And what I'd like to talk about is the fact that although she used a formula, the formula clearly isn't accurate. And I think a lot of people are falling into this category where they're viewing these formulas as almighty predictors of exactly where their calories should fall on a day-to-day basis. And it's really not the case. And there are multiple flaws in using formulas. And some of those reasons are the topic that I'm going to touch on today. Now, the first reason is that a formula, any good high quality formula, is at least going to try to take into account that individual's activity level. Now this is known as added activity over and above that basal metabolic rate. So if a person trains 1 hour for the day, if they do cardio 1 hour for the day, if they go on a walk, if they play with their kids, these are added activities that are a part of their life, and they consume calories, and so they contribute to that individual's total daily energy expenditure over and above their basic calorie needs for them to just stay alive. Now, what happens is that a lot of people have a skewed vision of their actual activity level. Here's an example. You have a person who goes to the gym every day, and let's say 5 days of those 7 days of the week they lift weights intensely for 1 hour, and the other 2 days they do cardio. 1 day of HIIT, 1 day of low intensity or medium intensity steady state cardio. Now, in that person's eyes, they will most likely view themselves as an extremely active individual. And really, while that's great that they think that about themselves, going to the gym for a total of 7 hours a week does not make you an extremely active individual. Really, 1 hour per day is just a very small percentage of your day. Off the top of your head, I think it's about 4%. And so when you think about that, if that's the only strenuous or added activity that that person does throughout their week, aside from getting up, living, going to work, and just the general day-to-day activities that a person does, which aren't strenuous at all, that person really isn't extremely active, and they're not even close to extremely active. An extremely active person is somebody whose job is full-time and it's a strenuous, physically laborious job. a construction worker that's shoveling rock, a bricklayer, somebody that is lifting packages into the back of a delivery truck all day long for 40 hours a week. Those are the people that are extremely active. And if they're training on top of that, they're basically at the top tier of the activity level. Now, when you think about the person that's lifting weights for 6 or 5 hours a week and doing cardio for a couple hours a week, but their job is a desk job and it's sedentary, for the majority of their day, for 96% of their day, they are sedentary. They're sitting on their desk, they're sitting on their chair at their desk for 8 to 10 hours a day. They're driving in their car, sitting on their way to work and on their way back from work. And then when they get home, they're sitting on the couch to watch TV, they're sitting down at the dinner table to eat, and then after that, they're laying down in bed. Now, aside from that hour of training per day, you can really see that while they might think that they're extremely active because they go to the gym every day, it really doesn't add up to a lot of extra activity. And when somebody types in the wrong activity level in a calorie needs estimation formula, they're going to get that skewed number. Formulas also use lean body mass for the most part. Now, lean body mass is a number that represents the amount of weight in your body or the amount of mass in your body that is composed of non-fatty tissue. So it's lean body mass. And what you do in order to figure lean body mass is you need to know your body weight and then you need to know your body fat percentage. Now, this is key because body fat percentage is often skewed, or a person's estimate of their body fat percentage is often not accurate. And so if a formula is relying on a number that a person derives from a guess or an estimate, you can see how that formula is going to spit out a calorie need for that individual that's off. Now, formulas also produce a static number of calories needed per day. And the fact is that unless this subject or this individual is doing the same activity level and just moving through their day exactly the same every single day of the week, their level of calorie need is not static. It's a moving number. Let's just use their maintenance. So maintenance is a moving number. When you use a formula, you get one number and that's it. When you use real life, a person is going to expend their total daily energy expenditure per day is not always going to be one single number. There's a definite variance there, and that's just how it is. You're never going to get around that because you're never going to do the exact same thing from day to day. Even in the gym, when you're training, different days expend different amounts of energy. And so you can say that, well, I put in an hour in the gym each day, so I know that I'm burning 400 calories for that weight training session just because it's an hour long. That's not true, and it's just an illustration of how calorie burn per day is not static. Now, I've listed off 3 downsides or 3 areas of calorie level estimation that can produce inaccurate numbers. So how do you get around these facts or these downsides, these flaws of calorie estimation formulas? The best thing to do is go off of real world results. In Allie's case, the formula that she used is telling her you should be gaining weight. You're eating above your maintenance level. But her real world results tell her that she is not gaining weight. I believe she is basically teetering between a very, very slight deficit and that maintenance range. Now, shortly, just because I continue to adjust her calories up on a nearly weekly basis, she's going to be fully in that maintenance range, and then she's going to reach the top of that maintenance range, and then eventually she's going to reach the stage of her true bulking phase where she's actually gaining weight, and that's what we're after. And we're trying to do that without taking too much time, because the amount of time that it takes to transition from a contest prep to a true bulking phase doesn't have to be that long. And people have this wrong idea that it has to be a long, lengthy, multi-month process. But that is a definite topic for another time. So in Allie's case, she needs to focus on the real world results. And if she was a person that was not getting coached by me, if she was a person that was just starting on her own, what I would recommend in order for her to overcome these flaws and these downfalls of estimation formulas is to initially just start tracking her normal daily intake. Don't change anything. Just eat the way that you would normally eat, and then track that. Calculate your macros and calculate your total calorie intake per day. What I would recommend is doing that for 1 to 2 weeks. Again, you're not changing anything because you're just trying to find how your body reacts to your current habits. So if you have your intakes per day, and if you have your body weights per day, then what you're going to do is you're going to be able to see how your current intake affects your body. And then you can adjust from there. Now, obviously, since I do this for a living and I help people every day with their nutrition, I look at their data for them and I interpret that data. I make changes where needed, and it's the guessing games and the work side of the equation is out of their hands. Now, for a person that doesn't have a coach, clearly, if you're losing weight and you want to be gaining weight, what you need to do is you need to increase those calories. Look at your data and increase those calories. If you're gaining weight and you wish to be losing weight, again, look at your current intake and drop it. Now, this video is all about showing how to not take a calorie formula estimation as if it's set in stone, because that's really not the best way to go about things. Formulas are a method to give you a rough estimate of a starting point, but you can tell from this real world result of Allie's that they can be wrong and they can skew a person's mindset on how many calories they should be intaking on a daily basis. So I really recommend following your own real world results over putting so much importance on what a formula spits out for you. If you have any questions or follow-up comments about calorie need estimation formulas or topics in this video, how to determine lean body mass, how to estimate body fat percentage, how to estimate your actual activity level, feel free to email ryan@growthstimulustraining.com. That's my personal email. You can text me at 919-671-8585. That's my cell phone. Or you can just comment on YouTube or Facebook. I hope that you have a great rest of your Thursday afternoon. Again, it's sunny in Minnesota. It's abnormally warm, almost 50 degrees here today again in the middle of December. So I've already taken my morning walk with my wife Jess and our dog. Right now, I'm just going to continue to be productive throughout my day and work on clients' materials, work on my upcoming book, GST Size, and I want you to do the same. Get out there, be productive, and make the most of the rest of your day. So thank you for watching, and as always, I appreciate your views.